Alright, I just wanted to show off my door a little bit. I had it set up with booleans, but I ended up setting my light switch up, and for some reason, like, I don't know, I tried this with the door once. Apparently I didn't understand how to do it. Now I apparently do. I don't understand. Um, actually, like, using this switch state, but actually, like, having it, like, with it also locked and replicated or whatever. I don't know. It's very confusing, but I ended up figuring it out. Um, I don't know why people keep wanting to, because I've seen a couple of videos that show it to where you like set the open value here on this or whatever, and then you set this one down here to closed, and you hook it up or whatever, or reverse or something. But I didn't like that because it kept sometimes giving me errors, and it wouldn't allow you to do it like I've got it here. Now, what's going on is we're setting the state here, and the reason why I'm setting the state like this through an interface is because if you want to call it over here in the key, you can call the unlocked state, but the way I've got it set up, I only have 3 states, as you can tell. You got closed, open, and locked for right at the moment. I haven't tied any animations from the character in this yet. I'm just not really trying to do that at the moment. But I do have animating the actual object itself. And what's pretty much happening is when we click on the object right here, we'll fire this switch off right here. And if it's in the lock state, it's just going to keep flicking this to on and off. Locked. Is it locked? Yes, no, yes, no. It doesn't really matter whether it's set on yes or no or not. We're not really worried about this. We're just using it as a toggle switch to allow the sound effect to play, which I've got right here. The only reason why I'm putting it right here is because in case I want to do anything else to it, I can tweak it real quick and then eventually put it up. Shit. Yeah, like I said, it's toggling it here. And like, also, derp, got it set here on state, like, on state change. It will, this one's closed, this one's opened, which allows it to kind of like open back and forth. I guess that's pretty much how I'm setting whether or not the door is open or closed. This thing, I actually really, well, I'm gonna have to go into it. I like these like libraries. These are cool. Really sweet. Like, can set the relative rotation or the relative location, which is what I've got here, is the relative location on the z-axis, and you can easily call them. Oops. Like, I've just got like mine set up with FL, and then like you could grab the one from the rotation or whatever and then set it down really quick, plug it in. It's just a quick way to not have to do all that for your items if you're not gonna like animate, I guess, the object itself through like Blender or whatever. I've done that too. I don't know. I don't really like that way, but in a sense I do. I don't know. I think my problem last time was I couldn't get it to flick the states. I just could only get it to actually like close then open. But I couldn't get it to close and then toggle it to open, then toggle it to close, toggle it to open, toggle it to close. But I think I was, because I was not playing on like an animation montage, I was just playing the animation directly. That might have been my issue. But either way, with like something simple like this, I guess you really wouldn't want like armature bones or whatever, I guess. So I feel like you'd want to do it this way. And like I said, it's just a state, whether or not it's closed or open. And then how I'm actually replicating it, because this is replicated multiplayer. I'm actually going to show it here in a minute. If you're wondering about replication, you need to replicate this right here, this value too. You can't replicate what's in the door and then expect this not to be replicated. Now you can do that on the character itself, or you can do it like I've got it, like in a component. But mine's in a component right now, so I'm not really too worried about it, and it's replicated. But either way, you have to replicate the state of the door too. Click replicate, and then you need the rep notify. What it's gonna do on the rep notify, and you'd be like, well, why do you have this here and here? Well, if you have this here and not over there, it won't do it on the client, and then vice versa. So you need them both here to allow it to do it on both the client and the server. And like I said, with the locked, it's just locked. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to. Oh, I want to show the button off. Ooh. Yay. Alright, now easy to lock it. Pick up the key. Now we can open the door. Wahoo! Yeah, I guess that was just a rundown of my little escapades here recently, I guess. I don't know. Just trying to understand how to replicate stuff and target the doors, switches, elevators, lights, all that stuff. But yeah, oh, one other thing. I want to show the button. I guess you would ask why you would do all this fluffer stuff right here. Like, cause this is like nothing to do with like when the player interacts, except for like the states or whatever. But you would probably want to do it for something like this. Easy for your button. Like, there's nothing else in here. And my button can call the door state. Now, you probably argue you're going to run into glitches this way. I just set it up this way as a quick test. You could run the value from this door over to this door button and actually have it be what the door is. Because I believe if you go to open the door and then click that button, it's not going to do anything. But then when you click the button again, it's going to close the door because it's actually set in this state over here on this button. I'm not really sure. I haven't got into it too much yet, but it's just trying to learn how to communicate, just like with these lights. These lights were kind of confusing, but they work. Yeah, double tap sometimes, but got them to work, so one's not flicking off and the other's not flicking on. Like, I don't know, I was having lots of problems with the fucking light switch. But yeah, that's my light switch model. It looks so cool. I made it in Blender in like an hour or so. It's really nice. I think it's like 2,000 in some faces with collision. I mean, I think I went a little overboard on collision because it's like, I think like 100 faces for the collision, but I wanted it to look nice. Speaking of that, I guess we'll just go look at it. I don't know. Fuck it. get rid of that little shit. Yeah, nice. I guess I'm just gonna talk about the models for a minute. I had problems there for the longest time when I was working on my weapons, which I don't have my weapons in here anymore because they're in my other project, which is on 5.4. I need to update it, and I need to bring it. Well, I did update it. This is updated 5.5. I just need to bring my weapons in. There's issues like with the low poly models. Like you'll get this nasty shading right here. And over here sometimes if you don't do certain tricks to your model. Now maybe you could like do some like normal bullshit or whatever, but the way I've defeated it is just adding an extra holding edge like around here. If I wouldn't have added this extra holding edge and not like beveling the edge, I'm talking about after you bevel the edge, you add an extra holding layer to it and you won't get this nasty ass shading right here. I don't know, I might talk about it later, but either way, it's really nice. And these are 2 parts, but I have them running on the same material. And that was actually kind of a trick to get that to work because the bake was a little fucked up, but at first, but I figured it out. Super easy. Just 2 simple collisions. At least on that one. That one's kind of simple, I think. And then you just got this one, which this one's 4 pieces. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, because I wanted the hole cut in it. That's another thing. Like I don't know if you want like a hole in your collision, you've actually got to cut the hole into it, and like if you don't do it properly, you will not have a hole. It's hard to explain. It'll just cover it up. You have to do it in pieces, which number of collisions, 4 primitives. But yeah, I don't know, just showing off, but I guess I've rambled on a little too long. Peace.